What is going on, guys? This is Student Investor. In today's video, I'm going to be talking a little bit about my Apple stocks. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking a little bit why I purchased some long-term leap options on Apple, and I'm going to be going over my trading philosophy on how I choose to invest in such a way that I do, and why I think the way that I do about investments. So in this particular video, I'm going to be going over why I chose the leap options and why I think Apple is poised for growth in the upcoming years, especially with the tightened PC market as chip shortages squeeze PC suppliers and really put strenuous demand on supply chains. Especially, hey, if you're a PC gamer right now and you're trying to get some parts, it is extremely difficult to find parts, and there's going to be a shortage for quite some time. And with the work at home environment, I think it's here to stay. So that's a little basic overview of why I chose Apple, but I'm going to go really in depth in this video, so stay tuned if you want to learn about some trading philosophy. And when I mean trading philosophy, I just basically mean how you think about the underlying stock and how you really, the science behind why you really choose to invest in the stock that you did. So in my case, I bought some leap options, and just to sum that up, if you don't know what a leap option is, I have the definition pulled up. So it stands for long-term equity anticipation. So in this case, I bought some options. And when I say I bought options, I mean I basically purchased a contract. And in that contract, it has an expiration date and it has a price. And what that means is that basically I purchased 3 contracts. So that means I mimic myself owning 300 shares of Apple without actually having to shell out the equity required to buy 300 shares of Apple at its current price range. And if I were to do that, I'd need, like, how much would that be off the top of my head? Maybe like 45k. It's a lot of money. So I chose Apple for 2 reasons. Well, the first reason being is the Apple M1 chip. The Apple M1 chip is a chip that Apple has made that is specifically designed to work as performance efficient as possible on their laptops or on their platforms, specifically Mac OS. So Mac OS is the operating system that Apple computers run on, and the reason why I think this is huge and it's just greatly innovative is that Apple, for one, has a very strong brand recognition, and there is a lot of people that use Apple products on a day-to-day basis, whether that be an Apple TV or iPhone. But to continue into the future and, say that HP is still going to be at the top of the PC market, because currently HP holds the largest share in the PC market. In my humble opinion, I believe they are about to get smashed by Apple in the upcoming years. People are working from home. HP hasn't done anything innovative in a couple of years, and the M1 chip just outperforms everything. The M1 chip could outperform my gaming PC right here, right now, and I built my gaming PC for performance. That's huge. People are going to look for that value, and they're going to see that, and they're going to know that, hey, if I buy this Apple product, it's going to be very, very good. Why? Because I have an iPhone. I like the iPhone. I have an Apple TV at home. I like the Apple TV. And they know that if they buy an iMac or iPad or an Apple laptop, they're probably going to like the product. Why? Because they like the brand. And what's going to happen? It's going to perform very well. And they're going to use it for productivity work. When they work from home, they get into their meetings, they close their laptop, they use it for their personal use, whatever it may be. It is going to excel at every single task you throw at it. And that's very scary for HP. I haven't seen HP done anything innovative in years. I mean, I could go to a Best Buy right now, look at probably the top spec HP desktop or the most spec'd out HP laptop, and I probably wouldn't buy it because they don't do anything special anymore. They're only at the top of the PC market share, or they only hold so much of the PC market because this chip didn't come out sooner, and it's here now in the perfect time. It is the best timing for Apple to make such a chip. But granted, there's a chip shortage. There's a global chip shortage at that. So what do? We buy a long-term call option, so that way we have plenty of time to allow Apple to continue the production of the M1 chips and manufacture and put out these products on the shelf with their M1 chip, so that way when consumers go to the store when everything's open, they buy the product containing the M1 chip and they go, wow, this is great. I'm going to recommend it to my friend. He's working from home. He needs this laptop. He already has an iPhone. He's going to love this. It's even cheaper than the most high-end HP desktop or laptop. He needs to go get this. And what's going to happen? A bunch of people are going to buy it because people are going to find out that it just performs. It works. People are simple. They just want things that work. When it comes to laptops and tech, not everyone's tech savvy. That's why macOS is great, because it's simple and it works. And now for the second reason. The work at home effort, or the work at home shift, or however you want to call that entire situation, or it's here to stay. You have to understand that office buildings are very expensive and you have to pay rent for these office spaces, and they come with utilities, and with rising real estate prices, it doesn't make sense for certain companies to send their workers back to the office. It makes sense for people like Google to send their workers back to the office. Why? Because they work on very, very innovative stuff, and they work on things that have never been done before. So they need people in person in order to communicate effectively. But for other industries, that's not the case. Other industries are perfectly fine working at home, and that's been proven already, because the pandemic has proved that model. People could work from home just fine, and they're fine with taking a pay cut. They're perfectly fine with it because they're at home with their kids, and the second work is over, they go and do whatever they have to do. They don't have the downtime of travel. They don't have to go out and get lunch. They have food in their fridge. They just go and make whatever they have to make, jump back on their laptop, do the work that they have to do, and go home for the day. It works out perfectly. And who's going to capitalize on that? In my opinion, I believe it's Apple. This is not investment advice. I'm not suggesting that you buy Apple or you do exactly what I did in this video. I'm not a financial advisor. This video was strictly made for entertainment purposes. But I believe Apple is going to capitalize big time once the global chip shortage has passed. And I allowed myself an ample enough time to do so, because this option is going to expire in 2023. That is plenty of time for the PC market to adjust and to have Apple ship out units and have just all that revenue coming from the M1 chips and their performance. Apple is insanely innovative, so this is just the beginning for Apple. They have plenty of years to improve upon this tech. This is a brand new CPU to the market that is specifically made for Apple products, and they're not going to use it anywhere else. It's only going to stay within the Apple ecosystem, because that's how Apple is. That's how they operate. They give you the best of the best. And yeah, maybe you pay a premium for their products, but everyone that pays a premium for Apple products is okay with that. That's why they stay within the ecosystem, because it's highly innovative. It works. Could you say the same thing about HP? You can't. You can't say the same thing about HP. So I'm going to show you an option calculator. And this option calculator is going to show you how much I stand to gain if everything goes right and if Apple reaches a certain price point. So I'm going to go and show you the option calculator now. I already input the correct information here, so the total cost is going to be, on my end, I paid $5,580, and you can see that matches up with my account here. So I inputted the exact same information, and it's going to spit out exactly how much I'm going to make on every month, every day of the month, leading up to the expiration date. So as you can see here, my break-even point at expiration is $153.60. In terms of option, a break-even point means that that is the bare minimum price point that you have to hit in order to make zero money or lose no money. You just make exactly what you put in back. I really believe that Apple's going to get way above $153 in 2 years. In 2 years time. I believe it a ton. And to show you that, this is how much I stand to make if Apple hits $246 in 2 years. In my opinion, yet again, I believe they could smash that goal and they could get way above 246. But if they happen to end up at 246 exactly, I will make 27 grand. I will almost 5x my initial investment. And that's how you should be thinking. You should be thinking not about, oh, I should buy shares, or I should buy shares of this company at this exact time because, my friend told me to. No. It's just like how you were to cut back on expenses because you want to put more money in your pocket because the pandemic crushed you. It's that same idea. You want to use as little money as possible when investing and maximize your gains to the absolute moon, to the absolute maximum point you could do so to. And that's where option comes in. It allows me to leverage my money. Yes, it's limited. It's not like stocks where I could hold it forever. At some point, this option is going to sell itself off at its specific date that I bought into. I'm like losing my mind here. That's June. Is June 16th of 2023. It's going to sell off automatically. I don't even have to look at it. I don't have to sell. I don't have to do any of that. It's going to do it automatically. And all that equity I've gained throughout that time is going to be given to me. It's great. You understand why it's important to just see things in the broader perspective. Just don't look at it as a consumer. Understand how different factors affect your investment. What is going on in today's world that could benefit you and that you could use to your knowledge and go and buy a stock today that in the future will perform well because of the underlying conditions. I'm taking advantage of the market. $5 grand to mimic almost having 300 shares of Apple that would cost somebody $50K to even mimic, to even have the same amount of performance that I will get just for buying it at 5K. This is why it's important to expand your knowledge. It is important to learn options. It is important to learn each and every year. You finish your anniversary of investing, you have to expand your knowledge. You have to do your part so that way you become more of an efficient investor. So that's just my trading philosophy. Hopefully you guys learned something. If you didn't, well, now you know how crazy I am on Apple. But I do have to say, guys, the video has been doing immensely good lately, and you guys have been showing a lot of support. I've been getting a lot of comments, and a lot of subscribers recently, so I'm going to really double down on the content. And if you guys want a whole video of me explaining about options in great detail, leave a comment below. And if you guys purchase any options for some long-term plays that you're trying to, take advantage of our current situation and you're trying to make some money, tell me down in the comments below what options you purchase on and what stocks, and your expiration date and your reasoning for it, because it's important to see beyond the financial sheets and all the earnings and all the media articles about why you should buy this stock. You have to be smarter than that. You have to be a smart investor, and what makes a smart investor is thinking for yourself, seeing things that not normal people would see. And that's how you're going to get ahead. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. But in 3 years from now, or in 2 years from now, we'll come back and we'll check on this very same option position. And I'm going to make updates from here on out, just showing you guys, showcasing how well this option is going to be doing. Because I put my money where my mouth is. I take action. And I'm going to invest for the future. And you have to understand when you're young, this is a sacrifice you have to make. Other than that, guys, that's the end of the video. I'm the student investor. If you guys enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Stay updated because I have a ton of content coming lately, and I'm really gonna double down, like I said, on the content. So thank you guys very much. And also to the person that signed up to that Gemini account and gave me $10 and gave yourself 10 Bitcoin, I congratulate you on taking action for your future.